What's up? Welcome back to Left for Dead Garage. Been a couple weeks since I made a video, so kind of got to get back to that because, well, that video of working on something. There was the video last week, I guess, of the to-do list that's stuck to the refrigerator over there. And even though I had a to-do list, I left off 4 or 5 things. But either way, no big deal. We'll get to it. But this video, what are we doing? We're going to finally open this box. I'll take you with me. We'll go walk outside. We'll check out the truck that has got something to do with this here box. And obviously, this 350 here. So, we'll grab the camera. We'll wander out. We'll walk around to the truck. Give you a rundown of what we're doing, what we have, what we're waiting on, and the plans. We'll go from there.
All right, this truck belongs to a buddy of mine, Brad. Funny thing is, I have not seen Brad in probably 15 years. And there either wasn't anybody else to do the work, or he trusts me enough to work on his prized beloved GMC, because we're definitely doing a lot to it. The truck's pretty solid. It's got that typical GM self-sanding base coat going on there, but you can see sitting on 20-inch torque thrust. The truck is lowered. I believe it's like a 5.7. I know it's notched in the back. I've seen that. 156,000 miles. I mean, other than the paint, this thing's a cream puff. I mean, she's super clean. Look at that. I mean, you just can't beat that. 159,000, I'm sorry. This is my favorite GM steering wheel for trucks. I love these wheels. I mean, the seats, people would kill for these seats. This truck's really amazing shape. Pulled motor and trans, took the, so clearly nothing in here. What I'm gonna do is, got some warm weather coming this week. I'm gonna hit this with Zep and get this all cleaned up, hose it down with some Krylon, and get it ready for the motor. But I took the 700R up to a transmission guy last week. We're going to go pick that up tomorrow. So that'll be ready. Got a, I think it's a 2800 converter, a Boss Hog converter. Yeah, that's what it is, Boss Hog converter. Ceramic headers. We've got a nice E-fan kit. Yeah. Pretty nice setup. Got some nice parts to go with it. So I'll quit fiddling around and we'll see what's in this box here, because honestly, I'd kind of like to see what's in, because honestly I'd like to see what's in the box myself, like fully see what's in the box. So let's jump on that right quick. Hopefully this heater behind me is not making too much racket.
I finally bought a mic and a tripod, so I utilize my phone and my camera. We'll wander around with the camera and let my phone run in here. This is not a real beer, it's a prop beer, so don't think I'm drinking on the job. Alright, what we got here? What we got here is nice. That's what we got here. If you didn't catch on from the to-do list video, there was a little icon up in the corner there from Blueprint Engines, and I'm going to let you know that that's what's in this box. So I'm going to grab the cherry picker. I'm just going to lift the whole thing up out of there, because it's not bolted down. It's just setting in there. So I did a good job of getting those tabs for my chain. But let me grab the cherry picker. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing to come out of there. Had a few straps on it, bolted to the crate. All right, let's check this baby out. Hopefully the camera gets all this. That is a Blueprint Engines 383. Blueprint engines block, Blueprint heads, Blueprint pump. It comes with a poly, I think it's 750 vacuum secondary carburetor. The fuel pump's already plumbed, but you gotta change this pump. The truck's EFI, so this has got to go. And there's a chance that the old carburetor is out of here. Got a nice set of 8mm Blueprint wires. One-piece pan gasket. She's already HEI distributor, but that may go as well. Let me get this thing sat down. I guess I need to go here and find the engine stand. Pretty sure I have another one. I want to rearrange the setup here. Probably lift from the cylinder head. But pretty nice deal. Much nicer than the old TBI 350. I think I don't really know what the tax and shipping and all out the door was, but I know the price was like $5,600. And the motor made pretty good numbers. Let's see here. Peak torque 483 foot-pounds. That's peak torque. 483 foot-pounds at 4,400, and horsepower was 458.9 at 5,700. So, I mean, it is definitely no slug. But I'll do a shot of these if you can't. Alright, I got two cameras going, trying to figure out which one has the best sound. Got a Rode mic on my iPhone, I got a Rode mic on me. Did my super clean video, and the GoPro only picked up on one headphone when I went to edit it. Luckily, I had the iPhone. So, what we're going to do, we're going to jump back on the Blueprint 383 and start swapping sensors, water pump. It looks like, according to the book, that the late model 350 flex plate that has the weight on it will work for this. This must be an externally balanced setup, since it does have a 400 balancer. And this balancer does have a big section milled out of it, so it must be externally balanced. We need to remove the fuel pump, this fuel line, and the owner, Brad, sent me a picture the other night of a Holley Sniper. So the carburetor is definitely out of here. We're waiting on, there's a back order on the distributor and the CDI box. So that's not good, but we have a little time to play around with. I won't pull the distributor until the new one gets here, because you can run the Holley off of the HEI. It's just not it's not optimal for the computer to run the timing, but that's later down the road. So we'll start pulling some sensors and some plugs, and we'll get this thing situated. Put that one back on that side where it's supposed to go. That's severely in the way. We'll pull this fuel line off. I'm out of Teflon paste, so we've got to take it off. Alright, I don't have a bushing for that, so we'll just lay that right there for now. Move on to the next problem. Cylinder head. Hopefully this will fit. That one will thread right in, luckily. See what else we got. Need to steal that kick down and throttle bracket. Do I have to get crafty on, you know what? If there's enough room on that harness to get to this plug, then I think I'll put this sensor right here in the front of this intake, because there's a brass plug, steel plug, whatever. And then may have to utilize this outlet here for the heater hose. And then one off the water pump, because this motor has a connection at the back of the manifold, and I believe the oven letter went to the radiator. I don't know, we'll have to look at that. I think I'm just going to put this one in the intake. There should be enough wiggle room in that harness to let me get up there and really moving it that much further. Plus I don't have to remember to stop at the hardware and get a bushing. I hate stacking that stuff. I just can't stand it. Leave that one open because it's going to have a heater hose nipple. I sure wish I'd have got that powder coated, that bracket, when I had all the other stuff done. Hopefully, hopefully I can bend this and modify it enough to where it'll work with that. Because this intake cylinder head is like Vortex design. It's just the 4 straight down bolts on each side. This one has the standard 6 on each side. So the bracket's a little different back here. It does have a boss here, which is similar to this one. Let me just take this off and we'll go from there. Wipe this down. It's not too bad dirty. Back bolt out. I'll show you what we got here. That's how it originally, you know, on the other intake, it looked something like that. You can see how it would have went to that intake manifold and also that little coil bracket. It's pretty close here. We'll just have to take this ear and maybe bend it to a 90. Maybe slot that hole just a little bit more. But let's see what we can do with the bending. Alright, we a little bend on that. Not so much
Let's try that again. So if you bend that throttle and kick down bracket either back 90 degrees, then it'll line right up. Now this may be tilted a tad, so on and so forth, but it's pretty well, you can kind of manipulate it around. But that actually worked better than I had figured. Now if this had been mine, it would not work whatsoever. That's just kind of how things go. We'll just stick that in there so it doesn't get lost. Alright, what else? I'm going to run that crankcase vent hose underneath that bracket just so it's up out of the way of these kickdowns.
Oil pressure sensor, we need to swipe that. And just like all GM blocks, there is a, I think that's an 1/8 pipe thread. And then this thing has some sort of elbow adapter going on. So we'll get that out. And we got that shiny and pre-owned. Take this up. Up. I meant to order some more ARP thread stuff, but I forgot to do that. I'll take that plug out. I was looking down through that oil field cap, and this motor has a full roller rocker on it too, aluminum body rocker. I didn't know that. That's pretty neat. Warranty. So, I'll put this one in. These little brass angle doodads would be handy to have around. Something I'm at the little part, I'm going to have to look for some. All right, so we got water temp, the gauge, oil pressure. What am I missing? Probably need to try to clean up some of these grounds. May swap thermostat next because that one is, this one's more of a vertical deal. Probably do that. This thing's got in pretty stinky. Clean that one up. Let me see if I can dig one of these up. Yep, it's got a 180 thermostat in it. See if I can find, you know, stud on this side, so may want to just reuse these bolts in this stud. I'm not sure what, maybe a ground or something went there. So we will clean them up. Take this back there to the wheel. Get it looking newish. And let's hit it with some satin Krylon because it ain't cleaned up too great. Set it there for now. Water pump has to come off. Probably use that pump, but who would want to? I mean, really, brand new motor. I'm gonna put a brand new aluminum pump back on it. Have to get us a razor blade. Little. Put them on right. The 3M roll like bristle disc. It works fantastic and it don't hurt the surface. Other than making a mess. Water next dry enough. Get a little silicone. Nut back on that stud. I'm sure that was a brace or something for the alternator or whatnot. Wipe the silicone off, some of it oozed out. Alright, so that's done. Need to pull the fuel pump. I'm not going to pull the fuel pump just yet because I don't have a block off plate and I don't want to leave that hole up. So I'm going to leave the pump for now. Try to keep this motor clean. It looks great. Amazing piece, I gotta say. I gotta go pick up, I might have already said that. I have to go pick up the pulleys and the brackets today as soon as he gets back in town. Can't do the flex plate until the motor's hanging because I can't get it up in there because of the engine stand. What else? Could pull this carburetor, but for the sake of keeping it sealed up, I will leave it where it's at. I'm not going to pull the shredder yet until I have the other one. So I guess we're kind of at a standstill. This is about as good as it's going to get at the moment. So, as soon as I get some more parts, we'll jump back on this bad boy and hopefully we'll wrap this first video up shortly after get the rest of what we need. Hang in there, stay tuned, and we'll get more parts.